astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
Are you ready? Debate fans, are you ready? For the handful in attendance and the thousands watching across the world, brought to you tonight by Jeranism, the #1 YouTube channel in all of existence. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Make sure your argument is tight. Wait, what? You must got proof if you so right. Wait, what? Don't get dismissed on false claims, cause you gotta bring the truths and the facts. It don't matter if you're talking about racism, sexism, scientism, paganism, socialism, communism. Talk about capitalism, atheism, globalism. What about creationism? It don't matter what the ism. Live on Debatism.
Are you ready? It's time for another Debatism X. We've got a great one for you this evening. Episode number X14. We've got BerserkGamerG from X going against Kaleb.fe from TikTok. Is the Earth concave or is it flat? That is the question. I forgot to close the door to my office. I'll do that in 1 second. And let's bring on everybody. Let's start out with BerserkGamerG. Can you tell everybody who you are? We'll be right back with the fix that door. Go ahead.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Berserk, or just BFG for short, Big Friendly Giant. I'm just an individual, 37 years old. I'm just seeking answers as a truth seeker. And yeah, I just have questions. I have answers. I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind questioning things. You know, so I don't have any affiliation with other concave earthers. This is basically my opinion from facts that I can draw. So it's basically it. I mean, I'm a tradesman of almost 20 years. I've used a level. I'm an ex-flat earther. So I used to build a lot of buildings level. So I had a lot of questions, and I was never convinced on, obviously, the moon landing and the globe model, and I always had questions. So that's how we get answers, right? It's just ask the questions, and that's why I'm here. So Kaleb has some great insight, and I appreciate him for giving me the opportunity to have a chat about what's really going on.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And your link is in the description if people want to follow you there at
That's right.
The X or the Twitter, whatever it's called now. And we've got Kaleb.fe. He's a veteran of the show. Welcome. Kaleb, tell people who you are if they don't know. They've been
What up,
under
guys?
rock.
Kaleb. Hopefully people know me around these parts. I'm a flat earther, devout flat earther. I defend flat earth pretty much every day off that I'm not working my job, providing for my family. I think that the idea that water bending at the surface up or down is just pretty insane. So we'll be discussing a couple things tonight. If anybody wants to find my socials, Jaren has them, and I'm excited to do this. Excited to hear somebody defend concave Earth. This will be my first interaction with somebody that thinks that the Earth is concave, so I think it should be interesting.
Excellent. All right. And if people want to ask any questions, they can do so by sending either a super chat, or you can do it on Rockfin, or you can, I think those are the only two options for today. So we're going to do a coin flip real quick to figure out who's going first. I don't have that ready to show you, but you'll just have to trust me. Who wants to? I will let you flip because you are new here, Berserker. Go ahead. Heads or tails?
Heads.
And it is tails. So you want to go first or second, Kaleb?
Second.
Okay. So Berserker, you got a 5-minute intro. We are ready when you are. I'll start the clock, and the floor's all yours.
Awesome. So basically, where to get started, right? So I'm an ex-flat earther. I used to think the Earth was flat for a long time, for many years, and I never really had the actual answers as to why. there was always cherry-picked information that always had little flaws in it. So what happened was I actually met a very well-spoken Russian guy, most polite guy I'd ever met, and he was giving me little nuggets of information about a third possibility. Now, this had me intrigued because I'd never heard of this before. I've never heard of concave Earth or hollow Earth. And I started digging myself. It's not like he told me you need to look into this. I wanted answers. So I started digging, and I came across, as you guys know, Lord Stephen Christ. And his work will be most of the work I'll be citing here today, and I will be providing links with every single bit because I won't be able to do it justice. I'm not as smart as a lot of these people out here. And that brings me to a little bit about if I can figure it out, I'm sure a lot of other people can figure it out too. So my quick points now is that we're going to just discuss a couple of things that actually prove the flat Earth model not viable. Okay, so there needs to be a working model with everything we observe, and this includes the sun, the moon, the North Star, the celestial, all the stars in the sky. Why the sun is in a different location against the stars every year. We need a working model. We need an anomala as well, and we also don't observe any acceleration and deceleration with the sun. And that doesn't also get larger or smaller. So I'd like to see a working model with everything on the flat Earth. And on top of that, there's also such a thing called eastward deflection of flying objects. And there's effects to be known in Coriolis or I can't remember what's called, Etivos or something, effects that describe this phenomenon. But if you were on a flat plane, with no rotation, if you were to have a gun, point east to west, shoot your bullet, and then turn that gun around and shoot the other way, those bullets should technically fall at the exact same distance, no matter which way you fired it. That is not what we observe. Okay, there is eastward deflection of flying objects, and the further away, so over 1,000 yards, you'll find more of this. Okay, and you can look up, someone like Chris Kyle explained to you about how the curvature of the Earth actually affects, and these other factors that mention that, hey, look, your bullet's not going to always land exactly where your target is. On a flat plane, it has to go straight, right? So the last thing I want to touch on is
minute 40.
Minute 40? Okay, great. So how light actually operates. So the way in which we see things. We already know that we see upside down, the light hits our eyes invert it, and wherever it lands in the back of our eye is our brain processes it and then flips out the right way. So there's all these illusions that we see. And so what we see is light actually bending. So if you don't mind, I put a glass of water here, which I'll show you, light actually bending. I'm just going to fill it up, let it rest for a couple of seconds. And you'll notice that, yes, the water is flat, but it's also raised around the edges. There's a little simple trick you can do at home as well. You just put something like a straw or something, and you can see that our mind plays tricks on us, right? There is refraction in the water. I can't see exactly what this looks like because I'm pointing the camera at it. Go grab a glass of water, try this for yourself. You'll see that light is actually bending. So we need to understand a bit more about quantum physics and how we actually see things. So our line of sight, we can't really trust, can we? So we understand there's birefringence, light bends. This is proven facts. There's a book called The Hallow Theory in 1938, where it actually just shows how lunar eclipses are made by the bending of light. So these are some things that I'd like to see in the flat Earth community, an actual model with everything. We're talking about North Stars, South Pole, everything like that. So that's my introduction. Thank
Thank you very much. Caleb, whenever you are ready, I'll start you.
Get me going here.
Okay, go.
Okay, guys. So for my 5 minutes of my introduction, I am going to be giving evidence for my model instead of attacking concave Earth. So I will be doing that in the open discussion. So for flat Earth evidence, every time we measure the Earth, we do plane surveying, which assumes the Earth is flat for 100 square miles, suggesting the Earth's surface is maybe flat. Gyroscopes, they hold rigidity in space, and they would measure a drift up or down. If planes were flying over the surface of the ocean or the Earth, and they were bending up or down, and we removed pendulous vanes and other things and other factors that they say account for this fact or this claim that the Earth is curved up or down, this would be measured. This would be easily be measured in a simple mechanical gyroscope that we just process. We would measure a tilt up or down. We never measure that. They've only stayed level because they're flying over a level and stationary plane. We only observe the horizon to be flat if the Earth were curving up or down, convexing in hyperbolic geometry in any sort of way. We would not see a level horizon. So I don't even know how you would, I don't know what a concaver would say if we increase altitude. What would we expect the horizon to do geometrically? I think that's going to be a serious problem. Probably not going to get an answer there. Fluid statics and water dynamics in general are always level at the surface, especially in large bodies, especially with quadrillions of gallons of water, guys. We can probably assume that water is level at the surface, not convexing like in a small meniscus or in a small cup. That effect is caused by literally electrostatic forces as well as adhesive forces and cohesive forces. Explain why those happen. It's essentially, and you'll actually get in a completely opposite effect based on the material in a meniscus effect. So if you have plastic, they say that it has less energy in the plastic. So it'll actually convex. The water will convex like the Earth is claimed to be right now with mainstream science. But with glass, it will bend up because there's more energy in the surface, they say. So the molecular entanglement is higher. The attraction is higher, plus the electrostatics, obviously. Then we have microwave link transmissions, which we know to travel in straight lines. They do not bend due to atmospheric ducting, any sort of atmospheric effects at all. So they travel in straight lines, and we can shoot them for 1,000 miles straight. If the Earth were convexing, and get this, he didn't tell you the dimensions at which they think this is convexing, but they think this is convexing at the exact same rate that the Earth's curvature is supposed to be on the mainstream model. We would not be able to shoot. We would have to aim up to shoot a microwave link transmission, since they only shoot straight to hit other continents. Just the idea that Australia is above us right now, and the other continents are above us, and the ocean curves up above us, is just blatantly insane and goes against all logic.
I'm in Australia, by the way.
Can you
how
mute?
much
Mute
time do
for
I
me?
have? Do I still have more time?
Yep, 150 something.
150. Okay, well, I thought I was running out there. Okay, we'll keep going. So radio wave transmission, same problem, as well as long-range observation. So I'd like to hear exactly what type of geometry people think we are seeing and that think the Earth is concave. Because if you understand geometry, like I've heard a lot of concavers say that the ground ramping up to the horizon is evidence that the ground ramps up and bends all around us upwards. And I've heard all sorts of crazy stuff. So I need to hear. I'm gonna need some serious specificity. We will not just be discussing flat Earth tonight. Concave is a positive claim, just as flat Earth is, and I will be expecting serious refutations to these observations that we're talking about tonight, as well as we have observations of like Mount Canigou and plenty of other mountains that line up with the sun's path over the course of a year, which backlight the mountains, and the absence of light doesn't refract. So this theory that the Earth is concave and that light bends up towards whatever is in the center, which supposedly there's a celestial sphere in the center, whatever's I don't. The light is supposedly bending up, and so to the center of the sky. So that goes all against the physics of light. That literally goes against all the physics of light that all mainstream history has understood. It goes a bit against basic refraction, the laws of refraction, Snell's law. So in this, I was not going to entertain this, but enough people have said the Earth is concave that I wanted to do at least one debate where I destroy it so I could send it out to people and say, refute my points that I made either in my opener, whether the open discussion goes well and we get any specificity if it's even worth having, or if, you know, we'll actually have to see how it goes. So all the evidence of science, and once you understand mainstream physics and the stuff that is not super science, time?
Yep. Okay. You can finish that sentence if you want.
I was just saying, it all points to a flat Earth. Once you understand the physics of light and the physics of the ether and things like this, Dayton Miller's observations that the Earth is, it necessitates that the Earth's flat.
Okay, got both your clocks at 30. You can go ahead and start us off, Berserk, with whatever you want, and we will go from there. I'll let you. I'll let you know when you get to 10 minutes or so.
All right, sounds good. So as you can see from our debate, I didn't get any answers. I had no working model for the flat Earth, and I didn't get any answers for eastward deflection of flying objects. This is what I mean by cherry picking. Okay.
Wait,
we want to talk about how light operates and how we actually see, and the quantum physics behind it. So, what is light? Light is photons, and what do photons do, and how do they act? Well, photons actually go in each and every single direction. And the time it takes for a photon to reach its target and then back to the observer will normally be the shortest time, okay? Snell's law, right? Maxwell's equations. Okay, we understand that light bends, okay? So where is the dome that you're so claiming to have over your flat Earth? And is the sun inside the dome? Because where is the refraction coming from?
Can I ask you a question? Let's ask you a direct question. So does Snell's law, does Snell's law bend towards the denser medium or the less dense medium with atmospheric refraction?
Well, it depends, right? If you've got the Snell's law.
It doesn't depend, by the way.
No, so
law is a law. So
what's the question again?
Snell's law states that light bends towards the denser medium. Okay,
yes.
So it's not, you can't interpret it any other way. On the surface of the Earth, relative to the altitude of the atmosphere, is it denser at the bottom or the top?
Can I ask you now, how do lenses work? Do you know how photons work? You don't.
Are you gonna answer my question?
Well, you haven't answered any of my questions, so why should I give you the opportunity?
We just started, so you're just going to immediately not answer questions.
Works. You just asked me how refraction
No,
works.
I asked you. So do you want me to pull up the definition of Snell's law and read it to you? That it says that light bends towards the denser medium. So I'm asking you if light bends towards the denser medium.
I've got the video right in front of me of Snell's law.
Read it.
Okay, so I don't need to read a piece of paper. Right, I've got it right here.
Just read it.
Read it. Read a video.
No, do you want me to pull up Snell's law? I can.
You mean like that?
I'll pull up the definition of Snell's law if you'd like.
Okay, right. So just
so
I'm ready and I'm clear, all right?
No, get the definition. Please get the English.
So now we know that light bends. We know that light bends. Now, if there's multiple concentric spheres of glass, it might bend multiple times. Okay, so for you to actually start to understand the concave theory, you should be entertaining the theory that maybe it is, okay? So exactly what Jaron said yesterday, we observe the ocean's flat, right? Because on a ball at 8 miles per square inches, that's just how it looks, okay? The exact same measurements work on the inside. If you flip those exact same measurements, there's actually an experiment that we can use to actually find out the dimension of the radius of the Earth. And then there's the Tamarack mineshaft experiment. And what happened is they had a mineshaft 1,400 feet apart. Okay, and they dug directly down 1,450 feet. And then they could cross 1,450 feet. They measured the distance of these plumb bobs. Now, on a curve, technically, depending on where these converge, it will be concave, or if it's parallel, it will be flat. Well, these actually diverge 8 inches. 8 inches. And if you follow where these lines traject up, it's 4,000 miles. Now, another bullet, silver bullet, if you will, is how high is the Schumann resonance? How high is the ionosphere? All right? Where do sprites happen? Where do auroras bottom out? All at 100 kilometers. There's a glass sky at 100 kilometers. Okay. Where is the size of the dome? You're saying the dome changes shape the further you go.
So you just made a positive claim that there's a glass something 100 kilometers above the Earth?
Correct.
100 kilometers. How many miles is that?
50, 60, something like that. I don't know. I'm from Australia, so we use kilometers over here, not miles.
How did you scientifically prove that? How did you figure that out? That's floating up there, and how is that floating up there?
Well, it's called Libyan desert glass. Have you ever looked at Libyan desert glass before?
Oh, how did you discover that type of glass is up there?
We're getting to that, aren't we? What is the phenomenon in Libya where you see scientists don't understand where Libyan desert glass came from because it came from the sky? Now, when you say
you have evidence that it fell from the sky?
No one knows. Not you, not science.
So why are you making the claim?
Because no one knows. No one knows where it came from. No one knows.
So this is the same. Hold on. Now, okay, I'd recommend you give me a chance to talk.
This is during my time. This is during my time, so you can get your opportunity. So Libyan desert glass.
So this is a dialogue.
Okay, Libyan desert glass has graphite ribbons in it. Okay, which is a non-metal material, which actually causes refraction when light hits it at a certain angle. Okay, so there is benefit of the light. That's what sunbows are and rainbows. Okay, because it's not the droplet of water that's creating the violet being different from the red, is it? And then how would we get triple rainbows, quadruple rainbows? And why is the red always opposite the violet every time it flips? It would have to mean there's multiple layers of glass with refraction each and every single time. Also with mirages, okay? That's just how light operates. It's just how we see. We have a virtual dome over our head. That is the horizon line. Whether we move left or right.
Or do you want to have a dialogue? You want to?
I'm explaining to you the theory so that you can understand.
Okay, so let's go to concave versus flat Earth, the geometry of the surface of the Earth. How do you know and what forces causes water to bend 8 inches per mile squared upwards above us? Please explain that.
I can easily show you that, and I have links to.
No, explain it. Explain it.
Yes,
explain it. That'd be great. Use English. Go.
I'm going to explain it on this video, and I've also got links.
No, we don't want to hear a video. We don't want to. We're not going to watch a video. You need to use your own words and defend your model.
This isn't for you. This is for everyone curious about the truth. Okay?
No, we're not going to watch a video. Jaron, would you allow?
Yeah, I mean, if he can share a screen and share whatever he wants during his time.
No, I'm not putting up a video, and I'm not putting it up now. It's going to be for after the debate. For anyone that wants to come to me and say, hey, look, where's that information come from?
No. What causes water to bend upwards at the surface quadrillions of gallons of water to bend 8 inches per mile squared?
The centrifugal and the centripetal force of magnetism.
What's spinning?
The celestial sphere.
The celestial sphere. So how is that force transferring to the surface of the ocean?
That's the magnetic force that we experience.
Water's not magnetic.
Pardon?
Water is not magnetic to that degree. It's not going to.
Air is. No.
So you're claiming. Hold on. Just so I understand.
Electrostatic above in the clouds than it is an electrostaticity in the air. Water is very electrostatic.
On a small scale? Is that
you know how lightning works.
Is that scalable? Is that scalable with magnetism?
Lightning crashes in.
Oh, I asked you a direct question. If you're not going to answer a direct question, then I will not stay here.
It is magnetism.
Direct question here. Listen. So if you want to spout your nonsense to people, you have to answer direct questions to be platformed here. So I will ask you: is that scalable on a small scale? Can you make a sphere, and on the inside of the sphere, can you put water and make the water bend around the inside of a sphere on the small scale, please? Yes or no? Do it. Yes. Show me. Show it right now. Show it.
All right. So
using magnetism, please, and electrostatics. That'll be great.
Here is the working model. So, okay, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Yeah, that's what I asked for. So, yeah, please show that. Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, share your screen.
I'm going. No. So I haven't got it on my phone. I'm going to look.
Oh, okay.
Try my best to aim it at the video. Okay.
Okay.
Mistakes of human stupidity. Basically, in all branches of science is this.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Are not.
I don't see any water.
Okay? So what we have here is a compass. It's actually
Where's the water?
Of course, we have a huge honking
Wait.
neodymium.
Be patient. If you want any credibility, you will listen to the answer.
Okay, I want to see if the
commercial plane of the magnet. What I'm going to do right now is the only way you be able to see
Let
this
me just-
enormous, expensive magnet like this is that
this.
you never will see it in a small one because you don't have enough surface area to see.
Sorry.
There's a huge zone difference between the centrifugal and the centripetal edge like this. Let me spin up the brass flywheel.
So this is what's happening. This is a celestial sphere, and this is the Earth. Okay, this is the crust.
No,
this
no,
is
no,
where
no,
you're
no.
living. This is the observer. Okay, now look and just observe.
Wait. Can you please pause for a second? Can I say something? Can you please pause?
I can't hold it perfectly straight.
Yes.
So yeah, I didn't ask you to play a Ken Wheeler video, which this guy thinks the Earth is round. I asked you to give
To show me magnetism of the force of why water sticks to the outside of an inner sphere, which I'm attempting to show you, but you are not listening. So for you to have any credibility, you need to listen to the actual answer. You, by interrupting, have just demonstrated that you don't have enough patience to actually follow
I
through
just asked
with
if I
this.
could ask a question. This is a debate, not like show and tell.
And I answered your question.
videos. So I have questions about the videos. You're not answering the question. I didn't
You
even get.
show me a video.
I didn't
Answer
get
the
to ask.
video.
I didn't get to
This
ask.
is a debate.
Well, let him
Start my
finish this
timer and
video. Let him finish this video, and then we'll.
Okay, so I'm going to
Go.
skip it a
I'm
little
gonna
bit
need some-
forward.
yeah.
I'm going to skip it a little. Okay, so
No.
we know that
I'm
this
going to
is
ask
spinning.
a question, please.
No, do
About
it
the video, or you want to wait till the
time.
video's done? Call.
I
About
want to
the video.
quickly play this
I want to
video.
ask.
That's okay.
Well, I just want to ask a question.
Okay, he's got a question for you. Go.
It's supposed to be a
Okay.
debate, a dialogue where we
Okay,
actually
go.
go back and forth. So, yeah, I didn't ask for a Ken Wheeler video. I asked you to show a small, scalable model of water sticking to the outside of the inner surface of a sphere because of magnetism. I didn't ask for a Ken Wheeler video.
Can you now what? Can you now actually watch the whole video where it shows the working
Okay,
model?
so I'll watch the video if you promise me this. Or is he going to
I'm
show
showing you.
water? Hold on, BFG, focus, buddy. Is he going to show water bending around the inside of a sphere because of magnetism in this video? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, play it.
It's a model. Okay,
Go.
it's a
Yeah, it
model.
needs to be a real world model, real world
Yes,
scalable
just like
model.
the-
So yes, please
Just
show.
like the one that you're about to show me on the flat Earth, correct?
Water's
Okay, go.
flat. I don't show you
Hey,
anything. We know
That's a
water's flat. at the
question.
surface.
That's a question, Caleb.
can look
Just
at it.
like the model that you're about to prove to the whole world that the world is flat, you're going to provide that working model, aren't you? Now, you're going to use a computer and you're going to show me some diagrams and read some stuff. So instead of talking, how about using those ears to listen? So this is what I'm trying to explain. This is magnetism. We understand this because it's Ken Wheeler, okay? This is not to do with anything else but your question, okay? That shows you the center of the magnet is always spinning because of a vortex in the middle, okay?
Show the working model. Skip to the working model, please. Skip to the water
Okay.
bending around.
Okay, see
Skip
this
the water
brass
bending.
flywheel?
Skip to the water
Yeah.
bending.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. Spinning, not spinning. Pay attention.
Where's the
Okay?
water? Where's the water in the sphere?
Coming in a couple of seconds. Not
Please
spinning.
skip to it. This is. I know.
Here
how
we
it
go. Here's the
works.
water. Okay, congratulations. Here you go. Now watch.
It's so insane. I can't do this for very long. If you don't.
Inversely proportional.
CGI. CGI.
Yes.
Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh.
This is what you have to imagine.
Hold on. Please switch it over to my time. I'm going to ask for some moderation. I need to say something without being interrupted. So,
Go ahead.
So,
thank you.
oops.
So,
So,
I don't.
Berserk,
know
give-
it's my time.
did you want to comment on that or what? Berserker,
I
can you
just
let
want
it
to
go?
comment. Okay, if you want to keep trying to shut me off and not even listen, then why am I even doing this?
We can go to the clocks. We can go to the clocks if you guys can't have a conversation. Go
So
ahead.
do you understand? Do you understand? You are trying to debate me. You are asking me a question, and I am showing you the answer the best I know how to, because I'm not very smart. I'm not very smart. I admit it. Okay, I admit when I'm wrong. I need to see some evidence, okay, to admit I am wrong. And what you're doing is deflecting. You're not answering any of my questions either. You're expecting me to show you something and then for you not to show me that same thing back. Okay, so for you to have any credibility, for you to be taken seriously, take some time to listen to other people's point of view, okay? Regardless of how ridiculous it sounds to you.
Well, that's more of a discussion than it is a debate. Debate shouldn't be entertained.
This is my point, is to bring the information for people to look for themselves. Don't take my word for it. I'm wrong.
This is a debate.
Okay,
this
good.
is a debate.
So,
not presenting information. This is a debate, a dialogue.
We'll go back and forth like 3 minutes each.
Videos
Hold on.
Explain
Berserk.
to you how things are actually working, and you're interrupting.
Berserk, he's behind about 6, or he's ahead about 6 minutes. So I'm going to give him 3 minutes. Try and stay muted, please. Go ahead, Caleb, for 3 minutes if you got it. Speak it. And if you want to ask him a question, then just let him answer. Go.
Yeah. Okay. So I asked for a real world. I didn't ask for a CGI model from Ken Wheeler, not showing water, not even in the CGI model did he show that he showed on screen was water bending around the inside of a sphere.
Yes, it was.
So I don't know if I'm quite speaking English. I don't know what to do here in this situation. Because I'm asking for a real world experiment. Real world meaning in the lab frame of the Earth. So meaning you grab something, you put it on the surface of your desk, and you get a sphere, and you make the water bend around the inside of the sphere. Small amount of water, especially quadrillions. Oh, it's actually still my time. Please, go on mute. So you'd only need to do it with a small amount of water. You just need to get a magnet somehow suspended in the middle, get it spinning, and get that magnetic or the electric field that is created from the magnetic field to make water bend around the surface of the inside of a sphere. So I don't know if any of my questions are going to be directly addressed. So there seems to be absolutely no evidence that the Earth's surface bends upward at 8 inches per mile squared. I'm asking for that evidence. We're getting denial of Snell's law, which specifically states that light bends towards the denser medium. The densest medium of the air is at the surface of the Earth, so the light would only bend towards the surface of the Earth. You clearly don't understand inferior or superior mirages. So I just don't know where to go here. I just want one question answered, and then I would talk about I'm willing to go to flat Earth, or we might have to go there and just accept that there's no answer for why or a workable small scale model for water bending around the inside of a sphere. That's all I need, just on a small scale. Everything should be modeled on a small scale. On a flat Earth, we can model that. We can model water being flat because it's always flat in large bodies. So.
Mute if you could, Caleb. Give him at least a minute to answer. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. I had unmuted you. You were talking. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, great. So water's always level, and you claim to be a dome over our head. So if water is sitting on the dome, it's just going to run to the sides. Whoops. Didn't think about that either, did we? So how high is, what is it? Is water level or water not level? Okay. So there is one experiment that we can find out for 100% certainty, and it's called the rectilinear experiment, conducted in 1897, okay, by Ulysses Morrow. And it used the water, the air line from the happy medium of the water, the horizontal line of water, to actually prove the measurements of the concave Earth. And if you would like to recreate that experiment, that will actually determine whether we're concave, convex, or flat once and for all. That's it.
Okay, Caleb, yours. Mute up. Berserk, please.
Yeah, just another common misunderstanding and a simple straw man. So I'm not saying water is level because water is above the firmament. I never made the positive claim that water is even above the firmament. I've never said that. I don't make a positive or negative claim of what is above us. I don't know what the firmament is. I don't know how far it is. I don't know what is above us as far as past the firmament. I've never made those claims.
I agree.
I
agree.
You
don't know.
Mute, please.
Yeah. So there's no logical way to deduce that using the scientific method. So if he's going to claim that there is a way to do that using the scientific method, I'm going to ask that be done. So when I'm saying water is level, I'm talking about the oceans, not the claimed water that people say is above the firmament. The ocean's level water is level. That's why we measure elevation relative to mean sea level, because the water is flat. So,
Go ahead.
Okay, so would you like to recreate the rectilinear experiment? Would you? Is that what you're willing to do? Because I'll tell you what, I will go on this debate right now and tell you I will offer my services for free to help build this thing. Now, you know I've got levels and I'm a builder by trade, right? I will go on record to say I will help build the rectilinear experiment if it can once and for all prove curvature. Okay? Now, I'll send you links to the actual rectilinear experiment that was conducted, and it was also tried to be recreated in 2016, but obviously Stephen fell on some misfortunes. So that would be actual evidence. That'll be going to Antarctica and looking at the sky. It'll actually tell you. Now, if you don't know what the rectilinear experiment is, well, I will have the links for everything. And it does, in fact, use water level, not land, water level, to prove concavity to the Earth. Now, this is the 24,800 miles by 8,000 miles that we already come to understand, which is on the globe model. So see how easy it was to be fooled? They just inverted the measurements. They just told you we live on the outside instead of the inside. That's why they call it Mother Nature or Mother's Womb, because we're on the inside.
Question. Can I ask you a question? Just by the way, I have double the time you have, just so you know, you're talking quite a bit. So why don't plane surveyors measure concave measurements upwards? Why don't they measure that?
Well, are you talking about the concavity like Jefferson aviation maps?
The curvature of the Earth that you're claiming bends upwards. Why don't surveyors measure that? Simple, really simple. Yeah,
so are you asking about the angle of attack for planes and why they fly up?
No. Do you know what surveying is? Do you know what surveying is that we do?
Yeah, I know what surveying is.
The total station. Hold on, please don't talk over me. Please don't talk when I'm talking. Try to be patient. Do you know what a total station is or an auto level?
Yes, I do. I used to use
Explain how they work. Explain how to get measurements to eye level, what you have to do. Please explain what it is.
So you have a cross here, right? You have a line going north and south, east and west, and you have a little bubble in the middle, right? You have to line that bubble up in the direct middle for that bubble to be perfectly circled, for it to be perfectly level, right?
Okay, why don't they measure the Earth bending up? Please.
Because exactly what Jeran said yesterday, what we see remains flat. It's flat spots everywhere. And you're going to make that face when Jeran literally said that yesterday. That actual proof.
Jeran thinks the Earth is flat, by the way.
Yeah, I know that.
So that's why he thinks you measure it locally flat.
Yeah. So do you know atmospheric refraction?
Yeah.
Right?
Simple question: does Snell's law state that light bends towards the denser medium or the less dense medium?
It tells us that light bends, and the incident angle is always going to be dependent on the actual angle coming in.
Okay, so if you shoot a laser into a water tank, why does it bend down?
Sorry, pardon? Yes, if
you got to listen. Down there. You got to listen during a debate. I know you like to just talking, but you got to listen right now. It's going to be my time. I'm going to ask you a direct question about physics. You're not going to be able to answer it. You're probably going to obfuscate. So why does light bend when you shoot it into a fish tank? A laser. Why does the light bend down?
Because what happens when light travels through a vacuum? It travels at the speed of light. And each and every side. Let me answer.
Let him answer.
Do not interrupt me. So light travels through the speed of light in a vacuum. As soon as it hits an atom, it slows down and then it transitions. It keeps going. But because it slowed down, it bent. So that light appears to go straight, but that's why glasses exist. That's why lenses exist, because the light on the lens, depending on how thick the lens is, will slow the light, meaning Snell's law and photons all reach their target at the same time. This is how magnification works and lenses work. So with the moon illusion, you know how sometimes you see the moon like really massive at the horizon? You know the moon illusion? No? Okay.
A supermoon? Are you talking about a supermoon or what?
Yeah.
You're just saying vague moon illusion. You're just saying a vague word.
Go moon at it. That's where the term mooning came from.
Oh, yeah?
Look at
Can I
it
get some-
upside down.
Yeah, let him finish.
Look at the moon upside down when it's in its moon illusion, when it's very close at the horizon, like extremely close and looking massive. Turn around and do a moon in it, and you will see the moon at its correct size. Okay, it's another divine illusion meant to trip us up.
Okay, Caleb, you got a couple minutes?
Yeah, I asked a really simple question. I asked a really direct question. I knew he was going to obfuscate, so I'm just going to repeat the question and expect an answer.
Where's the lie?
It's my turn.
Wait for the question. Go ahead. You already asked it twice, so you probably know what's coming.
Yeah, I'm going to ask it again. We're going to reiterate it and watch him obfuscate to something completely random like the moon. So just explain physically in your model or in your interpretation why in a fish tank, why light bends down in a fish tank. A laser, the light will go straight for the first part of the tank and then it'll eventually bend down.
Yes.
Why does that happen, please? Just answer, why does that happen?
Depending on how dense the water is. So if you've got a container of water and put sugar in it, it's denser down the bottom. So that laser will actually bend because there's more atoms.
So does light bend
through.
towards denser mediums?
Did you get the answer, or did you interrupt me first?
Just a yes or no question, please. I just want to
let him finish. Let him finish his answer. He's trying to answer it. Go ahead.
I just answered his question. If you get a container of water,
Are you done answering it, or you have more?
And put sugar in it.
Okay.
Right. And if you aim the beam at the line of sugar, it's going to bend because there's more atoms.
Oh.
It's more denser. Yes, that is the correct answer. It is the correct. You can say no and shake your head, but each time light passes through an atom, it slows down and then goes back to the speed of light through that vacuum and then slows down. This is how light operates. Photons.
So he asked you if it bends towards a denser medium. Your answer is yes, then? Or
So
no?
yes, because it bends every time it hits an atom.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the more atoms in there, the more it bends.
Just making sure that was good. Gotcha.
That absolutely makes no sense when you claim that light bends up towards the sky. That's the less dense medium. So concave Earth debunked. Anything else?
No. Cherry picking, right?
Cheers. Cheers, right? Yeah, so make sense of that. Hold on, directly. No, I'm going to talk for a little bit. So please don't interrupt me. So I'm going to need you again. I'm going to ask you a direct question that we'll be able to share with everybody. I'm going to ask you a direct question. If you just admitted on video, which everyone just watched and is recorded for all of everybody to watch, that light bends towards the denser medium because the light interacts with atoms or molecules and slows down and bends towards the denser medium, and you're claiming that light bends up towards the sky.
Light bends in all different directions. Say the light hitting your face. Is it in a straight line?
No, that's not an answer. You can't just say light bends in all different mediums. It bends all different mediums. So
you don't understand the quantum
so hold on,
physics.
direct question
This is why
again.
no one's
Sorry.
gonna take you
Hold on, we're
seriously.
going to pigeonhole you again. Does the Earth's atmosphere...
You don't understand the basic quantum physics of how light works.
Okay, let's let Caleb go
we
for...
look in a straight line. That is not the case.
Okay, Caleb, go ahead. You have the floor is yours. Berserk, please mute till he calls on you for now. He's got about 8 minutes in front of you. Go.
I got my answers.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing.
If you can mute, though, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yep. So he's directly contradicting himself, which is what I expected. Just denial of physics, denial of Snell's law, denial that light slows down and bends towards the denser medium. We have the denser medium of the atmospheric gases at the surface of the Earth. Therefore, if light bends towards denser mediums, it should bend towards the surface of the Earth, not towards the sky. We have somebody here that is claiming that light bends towards the sky essentially always. We need a physical explanation for that. There has to be. If you're claiming antithetical to mainstream physical laws, Snell's law is a law that light bend towards denser mediums, the denser medium of the two mediums it's going to bend toward. And a gradient is considered different densities. So no, I'm still talking, please.
Okay.
So we have somebody here that is denying reality, which is exactly what I assumed what would come from this community. I'm asking extremely clear, coherent, direct questions. So I'll ask again, please. I'll pass it on over. I'll ask one more time. Just directly address what is the physics to explain why light is bending towards the celestial sphere in the sky, please.
Stay muted
refraction.
what type
Refraction.
of refraction and what is the physics that causes it. So do you know what a superior or an inferior mirage is? Can you please describe those? Since you know so much about refraction,
you're asking
what is
me
the difference? No, I'm
too many
please talk.
questions.
Please, I'm talking.
Let
please.
me answer
Can you
one
please,
at a time.
since you're such an expert on refraction,
I'm
describe
not.
why an inferior and superior mirage happens, please.
Okay, so to answer your first question at why it bends down, because you haven't taken into account refraction. You're bending a light and you're pointing it up at some glass, which is then in water, and then the light's bending down. You haven't taken into account this glass that's actually refracting it. So it would actually be reverse to what you actually think. That's the answer to the first part of your question. What was the second question? It's all ridiculous. So
wait, can you clear up what you just said? So what did you say?
Okay.
That because the light goes through a glass? Let's say that part again.
In a glass jar of water, if the water is denser down the bottom, the laser will go through the water and bend, okay? Because it's more particles to travel through, okay? It doesn't say anything about the actual refraction of the beam hitting the glass first and refracting, okay? You've just completely taken out something out of the equation, which is the glass container.
Can I ask my question again? You seem to have forgotten. Can I ask it one more time for you, just to remind you?
I'm not very smart.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. It's just we need you to just answer a direct question here, buddy. So you say that the physics of light makes light bend towards the denser medium, but
no, that's what you said.
So what does light bend towards the denser medium? Yes or no? Due to Snell's law.
Light bends in all different directions, right?
So do you believe in Snell's law? Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Snell's law states that light bends towards the denser medium, so you should not.
But you haven't taken into account the refraction. You don't believe. So as far as you know, you don't believe there's glass in the sky, so there cannot be refraction. So it can't be reversed. But there is, and that's what you're missing. There is glass in the sky.
We're talking about how light travels through the atmosphere, no glass.
Why do you think it's called an ionosphere? Because the light interacts with the atoms, creating the ions. Hello, and what happens when it passes through that glass? It refracts.
I feel like we're talking past each other.
That's what causes the rainbows.
But he's not asking about glass. He's not asking about any glass.
I'm not asking about glass. Like, dude, what is this? What are we doing?
You haven't taken that into account into your equation. That's what I'm saying. You're missing.
Here,
you're picking a little piece of Snell's law. That's what I'm saying. You haven't taken into account any refraction whatsoever, which flips birefringence, which splits the tail. Nothing, right? This whole debate, you haven't even told me what eastward deflection of flying objects were and how to describe an element animella, which is what the first question I asked you.
You want me to address that?
Go ahead, Caleb.
Please.
Mute if you could.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. So we have the world record shot over 2 miles for the longest distance shot ever taken. And the guy immediately after said he did not take into the Coriolis effect. So we have proof that that is happening. We do have, if there is a Coriolis effect, it can be explained on a flat earth with the Machian principle. Him and Einstein were going back and forth in letters in the 1930s talking about the Coriolis effect and the precession of a pendulum and the Foucault's pendulum. And they specifically stated if there were a dome over top of the Earth, encompassing the Earth essentially, and it rotated at 15 degrees per hour, there would be a translation of that motion to the atmosphere, as well as if we know there is a substantive ether, that motion would also be translated. That 15-degree sidereal motion would be translated. So the ether would travel faster at higher altitudes, slower at lower altitudes, which is exactly what we observe with Dayton Miller's observations. Just so you know, on your model, your people are saying the ether slows down as you get higher. That is directly contradictory to all measurements that we have ever made of the ether. So you guys are ether denials. You guys are common sense denialists. This is absurd. I can't get a direct answer to any of my questions. As far as the Coriolis effect, it is explained as that. The ether is a substantive, very low density medium that is put into motion by the precession of the firmament, which will cause the deviation of a Foucault's pendulum while it is swinging back and forth. And you can actually prove this because you can take Michelson-Morley's observations of the ether, and they did it in the basement, in a concrete basement, and they got less of an observation, while Dayton Miller was doing it with extremely low density materials in a shed, and he got extremely fast observations over 15 degrees, saying that the ether processes faster at higher elevations. So we do have an explanation on flat Earth. I will not get any refutations with any substance, because I'm sure this guy's not familiar with Robert Shankland or Dayton Miller. I'm sure nothing will be addressed adequately. So I've addressed the Coriolis effect now on a flat Earth and why it happens. We're in an enclosed dome. The atmospheric gases as well as the ether is put into motion by that firmament that is moving around us.
You got something? Go ahead. Berserk. Oh, I got to unmute. That sounds nice.
Did you hear that? If you go back like 10 seconds, Kaleb just admitted there was a dome. So now you can see how far the lies go, right?
Yeah, there's a container to the Earth because
there's a dome. There's a dome. You just said there's a dome, but a few minutes ago you said there isn't dome. So is it made of glass?
No, I never said there isn't a dome.
You contradict yourself all the time. You just said there wasn't a dome, and now there is a dome. You haven't proven anything. You haven't shown eastward deflection or westward or the downward stream. You haven't literally proven anything. This is why no one's ever going to take you seriously. Now, please, do not take my word for any of this and do your own research, and I will provide you with links to everything. Because if you're a real truth seeker and you want the real answers, you are going to have to look into it yourself, aren't you? Even through the 6-hour video, because what's 6 hours for the truth?
Are you going to address any of my claims, or just going to yap?
Deflection. Where is my proof of the flat Earth? Show me.
Can you ask him? Why don't you ask him a specific question? That's a little bit vague.
You've got 15 minutes.
So I made a bunch of claims. Can you attack them? Is there any problems you see with them? Do you want to debate at all, or do you just want to chant?
There's no claims.
Why are you interrupting me while I'm talking? I stop talking when you talk. I please ask for the same respect. So I'm going to address the chat again, since you're not going to address me. This guy is not going to address anything with specificity. So I'm going to ask again. I made some claims there about the ether motion, Robert Miller's data. We can go over. I'm willing to help you out and help you understand it. But you just started chanting and saying, man, I can give you guys some links, man. So please address any of my claims with specificity. I would really appreciate that, man.
Awesome. I will. So in order to do that, we must learn the other side, right? So when you debunked the globe, your heliocentric model, and came up with a flat Earth model, does that mean you stopped searching for answers?
Are you going to address any of my claims that I made, or are you going to ask a random question about a model we're not talking about?
You haven't described the sun, Alamella. You haven't described properly the eastward deflection of flying objects on a still motion, because I believe someone like Chris Kyle, a sniper with the most confirmed kills over someone who did one shot. Now, how many kills? How many
can I answer that?
Kills have you got to prove it?
Can I answer that? So even let's assume that does happen. So I already explained the Coriolis effect would be explained by the low mass of the ether being put into motion. So we've been talking about that for a little bit. So maybe I'd love if you address that, man. Can you address that with some specificity? Let's really get into the details here.
Okay, so we're talking about eastward deflection of flying objects. Is this correct? And why objects always?
So I gave a dynamic explanation for why that would happen. Can you please address it?
The Coriolis effect. So what happens with the magnet video that I showed you, the centrifugal and the centripetal forces create a lift and a sink force, and they cohabitate together, creating a downward push, which is so strong at the edges it actually causes the water to be held there. And in the center, you've got the planets. Oh, of course, because I'm nice like that and I won't talk over you. Go for it.
Yeah, I didn't ask about magnetism, buddy.
You never do.
Talk about the Coriolis effect on my model. Do you have any questions?
The Coriolis effect. There is no effect on your model.
No, said.
Where's the effect?
Can you steel man what I said? Can you steel man the Coriolis effect on my model? Hold on. Hey, please don't talk while I'm talking. Please. Hey, man. So I'm going to ask you a straightforward question, buddy. I got about a confidence of a 0 out of 10 for you here, friend, that you are going to be able to steel man exactly what I just said causes the Coriolis effect on a flat Earth, and I just said it to you. So can you please tell me what I said to you? Can you please steel man it?
I just showed you before, which you interrupted me about the video of magnetism. You're saying nothing's got anything to do with magnetism. You completely disregarding everything that you witness and that we see. What is mass made of? Atoms, electrons, right? You have to think on a quantum physics level. You don't. You think that we see straight across. You can't decide where we have a dome over our head or if we haven't. You haven't described planets or the redshift of the planets. You haven't described the focal pendulum, making the sidereal day being 23 hours and 56 minutes, where a solar day, the rotation of the sun, is 24 hours. And that's why the sun is in a different location against the stars each and every year. Would you like to address any of those, mate?
Can you mute up, please? Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, so again, I asked you a direct question, buddy. I don't know if we speak different languages. No, I don't really know how to help you, buddy. I don't know if you just came here to get in front of Jaren's audience and just kind of yap about nonsense, but I'm just going to lay this out. Oh, you're going to talk. Okay. You're going to go?
Yesterday.
Or are you gonna talk now? Since you interrupted me, you go, buddy. Just throwing out your time.
What are you saying? I can't even hear what you're saying.
I met Jeren yesterday because I agreed to do this with you.
Oh, gotcha.
That's how I came across you, Jeren, and I watched your video yesterday, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the time.
Okay, Caleb, do you have a specific question that you want him to answer?
I would like to talk about, the Coriolis effect, but he's jumping to all sorts of different stuff here. So
your time,
really
go ahead.
Know where to go. He's wanting to talk about quantum when we're talking about the shape of the Earth. Buddy, we have people like Sean Carroll, which is a PhD graduate and a theoretical physicist that studies quantum. And he literally says this in it. He says that, no, it's difficult to explain quantum mechanics in a satisfying way when we can't even agree on what the theory says. And we've got BFG over here thinking he's figured out quantum physics, buddy. Admittedly, nobody has figured out quantum physics. Nobody understands magnetism in the mainstream. And you're claiming all of these random things that are completely theoretical describe how the Earth is bending upwards, specifically with the surface of water, which has never, ever been measured or observed. So I've heard no strong evidence for your claims, which it's unfortunate. You've ruined it for the concavers. This has been this has been definitely the worst debate I've probably been in, because I ask you a direct question and you just go off on red herrings. I guarantee if I ask you the definition of a red herring, you will not be able to define it. You're going to Google it right now so you can read it. I can see you typing, it's your
I'm seeing much time you got there.
I'm still talking. I'm going to run out my time a little bit here. You've got a pretty wide field of view. We're going to see you type, so I wouldn't look that up. So I'm going to ask you a direct question again. Can you please explain to me just one logical physics explanation for why water bends upwards around the surface of the Earth that you say is hollow and we're inside of? Just one reason why that happens, or for me to or could you just show a scalable model of that happening? Because everything, you being an engineer and stuff like that, you understand that everything's got to be scalable, man. I can fill up a bowl of water and show that water's flat and float a couple things in it and say, well, look, that would act as continents, and it needs a container. So the ice wall's about 200 feet above sea level, so it could contain the oceans. I want either a physics explanation for why water bends upwards around the inside of a ball, or just the scalable model, just it actually happening in reality. If none of the concavers, I'm actually speaking to all the concavers right now, if no one can show me that in a short message explaining the physics of it, or show me a small scale model of that happening, I will never entertain this nonsense ever again. This is pure insanity, as I expected. Please answer one of those questions, or answer the question of how that happens in physics, how water bends quadrillions of gallons of water, how it bends, how it stays there, how it doesn't fall, and or show it in reality, please, on a small scale. I would appreciate that so much.
Go ahead.
Yep. Okay, great. So the way that it works is what I showed you with the centrifugal and the centripetal forces. Now, you already discarded magnetism. So there's no way I can possibly convince you because it's a magnetic force. If you can't understand that, then why are we even having this discussion? Okay, I never claimed to be a smart guy. I don't talk on anyone. I don't do this for clicks. I don't do this for anything. I do this because I am a single person looking for the truth, and I have found what I believe to be the third possible truth. And I've looked into it so deeply that I'm not prepared to change my mind based on something that you've said. Okay, now you can tell me this, but you can't show me anything. Okay, I have actually attempted to show you some form of a physical, not physical, but a CGI model to get that brain clicking. Okay, to actually get you start thinking.
Okay, how about you go?
Man,
let's try to
can I say something to you? Can I say something to your friend here?
Go ahead.
Yes, friend, from friend to friend. Okay. Again, I asked you two direct questions, but this time let's simplify it down to one.
Let's actually do that. Let's just go to question and answer, and this way, if they don't have an answer, then they, just let them ramble on. If somebody doesn't have an answer, so go ahead. You're up first, Kaleb. Ask the question.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll ask first. So is it scalable? Has anyone ever created a working scalable model in the real world for water bending around the inside of a sphere because of magnetism or electrostatics? Yes or no? Just a yes or no question.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have that answer. I'm not smart enough.
Okay, do you have an answer?
I don't have a working model of it. I only have theory.
Do you know anybody who does have one?
Just like you, I guess.
Okay. You have a question for Kaleb?
You haven't proven anything. You haven't proven the sun anomaly. This is the silver bullet to the flat Earth. You cannot show the sun accelerating and decelerating at equinoxes. It just simply doesn't work if the sun goes like this, around in circle on a flat plane, over and over. It never creates that figure 8 pattern, which we observe by taking a photo from the same spot every day.
So your question is the analemma, yes? Go ahead.
Please.
Kaleb, you're unmuted.
Yeah, I have plenty of observations using a solar filter of the sun's size, changing angularly up to 20%, because you got to use a solar filter to get the real size of objects in the sky. You can't just look at it with your eyes because everything would be apparent because it's being distorted by atmospheric lensing, as well as the speed of the sun. Since I can directly answer questions, the speed of the sun does change relative to the winter solstice and the summer solstice. That's the times that would change drastically because the circumference of the radius or circumference of the path of the sun would be changed most drastically from the summer solstice to the winter solstice. And what do we observe in the south during the winter solstice? The sun sets way faster, suggesting that the speed of the sun has accelerated relative to the other end of the year. So yeah, all that's been observed, all that's been proven. The size of the sun, the angular change, that's been perfectly explained on Flat Earth and been measured. And essentially every video that observes the sun with the solar filter, we can go in and measure the pixels, and it's usually 20 to 25% change relative to 12 o'clock noon. But obviously all of that, it happens day to day, depending on temperature, things like that obviously change it as well. But we do see an angular size change, and we do see a slowing and speeding of the sun relative to the summer and winter solstice, just purely based on the time lengths of the day. So it'll get shorter, and the sunsets will visibly look faster during the winter solstice, like we would observe on a flat Earth, because the sun speed would have to speed up. So we do observe those things that you're asking for. So hope that helps. And if you need me, I have all the citations for that. I will send it all over to you happily and bring you on back to Flat Earth, man. I'd love to have you back.
Do you have a comment on that?
I don't do this. This is just like a one-off thing for me, just to see your point of view, right? So I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone, but this anomaly that you've just explained to me makes no sense. You're saying at Capricorn it travels the same speed as at Cancer, 24 hours.
No, I'm not saying it travels the same speed. I actually said directly the opposite of that.
Okay. So you're saying that we can...
For like 3 minutes straight, I said that it sped up, it slows down, speeds up. Yeah, and I explained that. Did you listen?
fast?
Like, are you here, buddy? Are you
24
here?
hour day.
Hello.
24 hour day.
I'm gonna mute you again.
24 hour day.
Okay, good. It's your Berserk. Your turn to either clear up your confusion with the analemma or ask another question.
He doesn't explain the analemma.
Okay,
He doesn't explain it.
So ask him to explain it again.
The photo of the sun, it looks the same. If he's saying that the sun's going to get further away as it goes towards the center, we wouldn't see a noticeable size difference. Not a small size difference, a noticeable size difference, okay? And the sun also needs to speed up to keep its current 24-hour trajectory. The further it goes out, and as it comes back in, it needs to slow back down to keep that same 24 hours. Again, hook, line, and sinker. There's nothing. No answer for it.
So is your question...
Animella is the silver bullet.
And your question is for him to repeat it again? You want him to explain it again?
I would like to show a model of the animella working. It can be CGI. It can be a picture from himself. I want to see a model of him showing everything, including the planets, the sun, the stars, the celestial sphere in the sky, this dome that he talks about, the flat Earth, the ice, the water level. I want to see.
Wait, we're doing one question at a time. Now you're saying you want to see all these things. What do you want to see right now?
The proof that his animella.
Okay, analemma proof. Caleb, go ahead.
Yeah, you already showed the graphic, so yeah, you understand it. So that's a model.
Okay, now your turn to ask him.
Google it. Google analemma. Google a sun analemma.
He's now answered
we know
twice.
What an analemma is. By the way, it's an analemma, not it's an analemma.
I'm a Kiwi, so I pronounce things different from you. I don't correct you on everything you say.
You already showed the graphic, so you understand it.
Caleb,
you said you're a flat earther for what, 10 years? And you're asking how an analemma works on flat Earth? That seems really weird, man.
Yeah, it's the silver bullet because it doesn't make a figure 8.
Yeah, it does. That's what we observe in reality, and the Earth's flat, measured flat. So,
okay, Caleb, ask him a question.
This is how analemma works.
Now it's time for me to ask a question, man. Time for me.
Go for it. You got a couple minutes.
Yeah. So I want to know. Please follow the scientific method to prove that there is glass in the sky. Please use controls, and I would ask a second side question too to that, because it obviously includes the scientific method. Please define the scientific method, all the steps, and what controls you would have to account for, please.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you know what this is?
No, he's asked you a question.
Yeah, this is called proof that there is glass in the sky. Okay? And this is what we'll call sundogs and 46-degree halos and 22-degree halos. Okay? All with the violet, right? You can see, what does violet do? Violet is a shorter wavelength. Okay? Oh, sorry, it bends most. Red bends less, violet bends most. So when it refracts through glass, okay, we can see that the light is splitting, okay? And if you look at something like an actual sun bow, which is a rainbow in the sky, then you'll actually find that rainbows are cut off at our horizon. It's actually a sun bow. They make a perfect circle. So glass in the sky, caustic, Google caustic reflections. Okay, here's your glass in the sky, folks. So how do we know what that glass is made of? Well, we go to Libyan desert glass and we find out the refractive matters of Libyan desert glass. Now I can spell that for you if you want. Would you like me to spell that for you?
We're good.
Okay. So you can look into Libyan desert glass and find out why that has graphite ribbons in it, which aren't a metamaterial. Okay, so it's not found in nature, and it has refraction to it, which means light is bending. Simple.
Wow. Yeah, I asked you a direct question, like, how do we know that glass is in the sky physically?
I just showed you.
Prove it. I actually asked you to define the scientific method.
I just showed you.
How about the second part of the question?
Your turn to ask a question, man. Your turn.
Refraction. Now, here's the thing. I just shown you refraction, okay, by refringence of the light splitting. why violet bends more and red bends less.
Okay, so
I just showed you that, and this is the rainbows, right? We get a double rainbow sometimes. It's because there's multiple layers of glass.
okay, your turn to ask him a question now. That's your answer. Go ahead.
I've got no questions. He's got nothing for me. So
You got no questions for him?
I want to use this time instead of asking him a question to just say something. Okay.
Have fun.
So I've asked for things. This hasn't actually been very development. We haven't had much developments because it's always been deflection. Whether it's my fault, whether it's Caleb's fault, that's fine. It remains to be seen. But I've got some information that I'm happy to share, but I've got someone that's not really willing to listen.
Okay, but the audience is ready to listen, so go ahead and address them then. You only got 2 minutes,
guys.
2 minutes, 40 seconds
there's
left.
Glass in the sky. There is glass in the sky which causes light to bend. This is the illusion, the divine illusion that we all experience inside the Earth. This is how radio dipole works.
Can I ask something about that? I'm really curious. So the glass circle in the sky, that glass sphere, how does that cause light to bend upwards at the surface? How does the glass sphere affect the light at the surface?
What do you mean the light at the surface? Surface of what?
At the surface of the Earth. You say light bends upward from the surface of the Earth towards the sky, right?
You didn't see my model, did you? Light is bending. Light is always bending. So these are
yeah. So does light bend up or down in your model? Do you want to make
all directions? It goes straight and then bends out.
Okay.
Like a funnel.
Things disappear bottom up.
Kayla, I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to try and get the clock a little closer. Go ahead and just
it reverses the image. You have to. You can
just give it to him. He's not answering any of my questions.
There's nothing more we can get from this debate.
There is, because the audience is listening. You have a big audience here, and if you've got facts to bring to the table, then go ahead and address them.
Look, I've got plenty of points, and I've got all the links. Okay, that I've got. I don't have enough time.
So what I want to
So what I want to say is,
you can interject.
This is my first time.
Okay, good.
I'm not a great debater. I never have been. All right. So this is just a one person debating another person over what I think's going on and someone else. Other concave earthers definitely know far more than I do, okay? I'm just giving you the ripple effect to say there is a third possible truth. Don't take Caleb's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone's word for it. Look yourself. And if you need to reach out to me, just DM me. I don't want likes and follows and anything like that. Just DM me. I'll send you anything that you want to know, because I'm after the people that are after answers, not clout and money and clicks. I want people that actually want the truth. And you'll find all the concave earthers, they've never changed their mind. You have to ask yourself why that is. So
you have 1 minute, by the way.
Can I ask you something before your time runs out? Can I ask you something here, friend? So
Go for it, I guess. I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, do microwave transmissions, do those travel straight?
Well, the photons, the light?
No, microwave links. Do they require direct line of sight?
Microwave. A microwave.
I didn't ask you to just say microwave to me. Do those travel straight? Microwave links? So when you shoot a microwave link or microwave transmission in microwave frequencies, does that require direct line of sight? Yes or no?
I don't actually. I'm not smart enough to answer the question.
Oh man, you should look that up. You should look that up. My time. I'm actually. You got about a minute, Jaren. Can I get a moment with him not interrupting me?
Sure, I'll mute him, and you could go as long as you want. You have 8 minutes. Go.
Yeah. I'm gonna yap a little bit because I have heard some insane. Oh my gosh, this was horrible. There was no physical evidence provided at all for a concave Earth. There was no scalable model which we can give on a flat Earth. We can give you reasons why we think the dynamics of the oceans are flat, because we can create an Olympic swimming pool and measure the surface to be flat. So every large body that we observe and measures flat. The surface of the Earth, again, measures flat for 100 square miles. All of this stuff, nothing has been directly answered. So this guy, I don't think, knows his model, I don't think, because I've talked to other concave earthers, and they say that light bends up. I've asked, hey, man, what causes bottom-up obstruction? Because that's insane. If the Earth is bending up, why do things disappear bottom up? Nothing has been addressed directly. I hope that people got entertainment out of this, because or maybe learned something from what I was saying, because as far as the concave model, I feel I'm more confused now. I'm actually more confused than I was before, which I actually fully expected. So somebody, if this guy knows somebody of a higher stature that's a concave earther, I probably won't take the debate unless I get some really serious evidence or a scalable model, because that's what we should expect from modern day science and physics. That's what we do as far as engineering. We need scalable models. So nothing was addressed directly, but I want to speak on microwave link transmissions just to give people that maybe are new to flat Earth or need evidence of flat Earth. This definitively proves it. So microwaves travel straight. They do not bend to atmospheric effects or anything of that nature. We know that they go absolutely straight. So they require a direct line of sight, and we can shoot those transmissions at a tangent from the surface of the Earth at like 100-foot observer height. We can shoot them. I've seen transmissions from 800 to 1,200 miles. On a globe Earth, the radar horizon would be at 200 miles before it's not able to be directly line of sight. So obviously we know the Earth's not round. We can shoot at 1,000 miles at just aiming straight, just right at the horizon. So we're not aiming up. And obviously we would have aimed down, because if it doesn't reflect off surfaces, it attenuates or it gets absorbed by physical surfaces. So we could go, and if we shoot a microwave link transmission 1,000 miles horizontal at the horizon, meaning parallel to the surface of the Earth, horizontal to the surface of the Earth, going right above it, straight in a straight line, and it reaches somebody else over 1,000 miles, we can confirm the Earth is neither curving up or down 8 inches per mile squared, because if the Earth were curving up, you would have to aim up to get direct line of sight. So this theory that the Earth is bending up or down is antithetical to all observable reality, basic common sense, and specifically all physics. The globe Earth jives with some physics, at least. There's nothing. I've asked for some type of physics for the physical surface of the Earth to be doing what it's doing. We've heard nothing again. So I don't want to beat a dead horse. I know we're not going to hear anything. So let's let BFG run out his time, and then we'll all go on with our night.
I'm going to mute you for the last. You have 30 seconds. Go ahead.
All right, I've got 30 seconds. Right. If you yourself want any of the information to actually try and figure it out for yourself, then I can provide those links for you, okay? There's nothing more that me and Kaleb can see eye to eye on. I'm not the best person to debate. This is just my feeling of how things operate, okay, and how things actually work. And I didn't get as many answers from the flat Earth as that they got from me, apparently, right? So if you need anything, if you want any actual links, research LCS Earth, and hopefully one of the other concave earthers is much more capable than I am.
Okay, thank you.
And willing to debate Kaleb, because he's a good debater.
And they can find you on X at BerserkGamerG.
Yep, I'm not hiding from anything. I've got nothing to lose, nothing to hide.
Okay.
I'm just one man with an opinion.
And do you have anything left to say, Kaleb? Go ahead.
No, I appreciate everybody. I hope you guys learned something about flat Earth, and definitely, I think, guys, as flat Earthers, I don't even know if we should entertain this stuff until we get some sort of logical explanation for something.
We had one super chat, $2. Kaleb, get back on MDD to destroy some globetards.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll consider it.
Who were you on there last with?
I went on there last with that one Ozian guy, and I did not like how the moderation went. It was bad, so I actually told him I'd never go back on there. So I'd really have to think about it, because the moderation just drove me absolutely insane. He was debating for Ozian because he didn't understand logical fallacies and logic in general, and then so the moderator jumped in. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to come around here if you guys are going to do that.
Okay, give us where they can find you, your links, all that some fun stuff.
Check me out on TikTok, Kaleb.fe. I might be going live after this on TikTok right now, so I'll be debating politics as well as the shape of the Earth possibly for a little bit, but I might not. This was pretty draining, man. This was pretty draining, so I might not. I'll think about it. I'll try to get myself on the live, but I might go live tomorrow if not. So,
all right, thank you guys very much for watching. We will see you What do we got? Monday. So we'll see you. And remember, Thursday is Speaker's Corner. So be there at 3 o'clock. That's your guys' chance in the audience to come up for 4 minutes and speak about whatever you want. So that starts at 3 p.m. on Thursday. Don't forget that. And I believe that is it for now. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
remind you guys to do your own research. When you do, you'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. Till next time, this has been Debatism. Peace. Later. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It was nice just hanging out. Now go and hit the bell. Share it with the homies so that they could grow as well. They missing out. Jaren leaves no doubt. If you know what we bout, it's never for the clout. Don't fuck around. Hey, not for the clout. That's too cap. We calling them out. Balls get flat when you cover the route. Jeranism all in your mouth. Truth gets lost like all on the couch, but it's time to get up and make them get out. Uncover the route. Jeranism. We are the crown. Telecasting worldwide. Check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI. All just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide. Check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI. All just scientism lies.
Who this be? What he about? You say spinning, he said out. About flat earth, it's flat out. He's still standing when you passed out. Globers pound, screaming, shout. He can turn you inside out. Yeah, surface deep, he's felt throughout. And he stay grounded, you spaced out.
We gotta run nowhere when we come fact check your facts and match your data. Concept is too abstract, what matters? Trying to tune in, but the note get flatter. Tell me I'm flattered. Flatter than pancake batter, now we landed. Jeranism, I'm your captain. Speaking, telecasting worldwide. Check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI. All just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide. Check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI. All just scientism lies. You know equations to the things you make the symbols for, but ain't really explaining what the symbols for. They try to teach you things against the things we taught before. No point in arguing now, they don't wanna talk no more. Okay, got a bite of the truth and now it's certain. That's what life look like when your mind is certain. Okay, got a bite of the truth and now it's certain. That's what life look like when your mind is certain. Thanks to the east side, thanks to the west side, thanks to the north side, way down to the south side. Thanks to the east side, thanks to the west side, big ups to the north side, way down to the south side. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI, all just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI, all just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI, all just scientism lies. Telecasting worldwide, check the globe is falsified. Space is spinning DFI, all just scientism lies.